Episode 5. Yeah.
Episode 5.
I see you looking at the screen there, mate.
Yeah, that's a nice winner, wasn't it? Winning treble.
Yeah. Don't step on its toes, because we've got a list here of what we're talking about, and we're not actually here to talk about that just yet. Give it a minute.
Well, everyone's going to look at it and go, wow, that's amazing. Who did that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that, won't we?
Could have been us, couldn't it?
I know, it could have been.
And that weren't the only one either, but, well, Go on then, stick to your list.
Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Episode 5. Chris and I here to talk some bollocks again about... I want to start with this Full Gallop show, mate.
The ITV, the racing show.
Yeah, we talked about it last time and said... because when we talked about it, the first episode, it had already been out, but we hadn't watched it yet.
No, I think it was about to air.
Oh, about to air.
Yeah, I
okay.
think it was a week after we did it. When we mentioned it before, it was about to go out the week after.
And when this airs, it's been out for a couple of weeks, I suppose. Yeah.
So I think it's on episode 3.
No, we're on episode 5.
No, not here. The
ITV they're on
show.
episode. Yeah, they're on episode 3. Yeah. So, anyway, look, it's good, isn't it? It's great. I love all that. We said I love a little bit behind the scenes, but this has got a different feel to it because it's recent, mate. It's recent.
It is, yeah. It's in the build-up from the jumps, which finished around sort of, was it April, May time?
Yeah.
So it's been in the last 6 months that they followed it. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think of the first sort of couple episodes?
I loved it
what
because...
do you think people that like racing but don't know the behind the scenes, what do you think they're getting from it?
Sorry.
Mate, do you want to take your time and have a drink?
Okay. All this talking. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I think, look, people take... For someone like myself, because I sat there and watched it with my other half, and she hasn't often got to see behind the scenes. We've seen behind the scenes loads of times.
Yeah.
But for people that are just dabbling in the sport and don't really know what goes on behind closed doors, and I think that Paul Nicholls had an interview where he was asked by, maybe Ollie Bell asked him, don't know who it was. They said, what is one thing that you think people are going to be quite surprised about, and, one thing that's going to make them think, oh, right, okay. And it's the care of the horses. Because people that are outside looking in of this sport, they have no idea the care and attention these horses get. They have no idea the love that trainers and owners have for their horses. And this program has brought that to life and really shown everybody. This is a program that's out there. I'm not talking about a shitty documentary that you can look on YouTube at. This is ITV. So this is right there in your face on one of the top channels. So I think people get a lot from it. I loved the fact that, for me personally, it was about the fact that I remember it was talking about the King George at Kempton. Talked about, this is like episode 1/2. Talked about Hewick.
Do you know what, mate? Yeah.
That amazing story.
Yeah, 800 quid, that horse. Nothing,
absolute
is it?
bargain.
800 quid wins a King George.
How much you get for winning the King George, do you know?
I don't know. Be nice. It'll be a nice sum, obviously.
Well, of course it fucking would.
What I didn't realise when I watched that back, from watching the race back, how far back and how far out the race Hewick actually was.
Mate, Gavin was pushing along.
Literally from a quarter of the race in, he looked like he was going to get pulled up.
I know, yeah.
And it's only when you watch that documentary back and you go, Christ, he was miles behind, and looks like he was flogged.
Yeah.
And then the last 3 furlongs came out of nowhere.
I know, yeah.
Or last furlong when he jumped the last, really. But
I'm sure.
Well, Shishkin fell, didn't he? But
yeah.
Would he beat Shishkin?
I'm sure while we're talking about this, we could maybe have like a picture of Hewitt jumping the last on the screen. Sure, right around now.
But I couldn't believe how far back he was and how far out the race he was, to be fair. It's only when I watched that back and thought, yeah, Jesus, he did well to win from there. But I suppose with Kempton, because even though it's a 3-mile race, it's a speed track, and probably got took off his feet.
Well, it looked like there was a pace collapse as well. But
Yeah, it's just because I say it's a 3 mile. It's a long race, but it's a quick 3 mile, and I think they just went too early. Too quick for him.
Yeah, they went hard. Yeah, they did. He couldn't keep up.
No,
yeah.
And then as got to the latter end of the race, he kicked in.
Yeah,
overdrive.
Shark did say, obviously, the one thing with Hewitt is that he'll keep running until you tell him to stop. He won't stop off his own accord. He'll just keep going and galloping and galloping and galloping.
Yeah.
And Gavin got like to the last couple of fences and thought, could there be a place here for me?
Yeah.
And there's more than that.
But it was good to see because obviously the show showed you each individual trainer like Henderson,
Oh, it was
Shark
great.
Hanlon, Paul Nichols, obviously Henderson when
Nicky was like that.
Yeah, when Shishkin fell, when he was just like, oh, gutted.
And he went...
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you get to see that backside of it. And then episode 2, I thought, was brilliant from the jockey point of view, like just how hard they work and what bad injuries they can get, because it touched a lot on the injuries of...
They're juggernauts.
Sean Bowen, like Nico de Boinville, and obviously it was on about the title race between Sean Bowen and Harry Cobden.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good background to show that they race 6-7 days a week all around the country. I think Sean Bowen at one point said, I will go all the way up to Perth in Scotland on a 12-hour trip if I know I'm getting a winner up there.
Yeah.
So they're dedicated, aren't
Yeah,
they?
he said he'd snub his home track to go for rides up. You know, you go where you need to go.
Which his local track, I think he said, was Chepstow.
Yeah, yes, that's
Wales.
it. Yeah,
so
it is.
Then he's going to go all the way up to Perth in Scotland.
So his dad Peter trains there, didn't he, or something? Yeah.
So, but yeah, for people, if you haven't watched it, definitely go and watch it.
I would highly recommend it. Yeah. So it's called the Full Gallop, and yeah, there's 3 episodes on there already. Do we get sponsored for this? Do we get
Champions Full Gallop?
The Champions Full Gallop? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think ITV need to pay us for this.
They do. They need to get involved with us, don't they?
So there's no point ITV being a big fan of our channel and then just, you know, if we're promoting this.
Yeah, well, they've said many times, they've phoned us, haven't they, regularly saying...
They're always on the phone.
How good we are at it.
Okay, put that on silent.
That's a total lie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Didn't even ring. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. Highly recommend it, and I can't wait for the next 3 episodes. So I've done 1, 2, and 3. You've done...
I've done the first 2. I need to catch up with
I really enjoyed the competition and the competition between the Jockey Championship, because when Sean got injured, shows him in the gym, shows the rehab, and there was a point where, because I remember it clear as day, Harry Cobden started riding. Harry Cobden used to be quite exclusive to Paul Nichols, and he started riding for every Tom, Dick and Harry.
Well, yeah, he got his agent active, didn't he? That Sean Bowen, that injury, a footballer would have been out for about 3 or 4 months with that injury.
Yeah, I know.
6 weeks he'd come back riding.
Yeah, I know.
He probably come back too early because he said he was in a lot of pain after the racing. But if you're going to be winner, you got to do it, haven't you?
He showed because the gap was closed. The gap closed down. He still won it that year. He was still champion jockey. He still won it, but Cobden closed the gap to like 1, I think. I'm sure that's right.
Oh, yeah, I'd have to say, yeah.
But yeah, it was. I remember.
It's good,
it.
like you say. It's just be good to see behind the scenes of what someone stands there and watches it and go, oh yeah, it's just a horse race. But it is good to see behind the scenes.
You see a lot of heating up in the stables of Paul Nichols as well. He don't like losing, mate.
No,
he's
very vocal.
Losing. He is very vocal.
I think
about
he says
it,
it, doesn't he? His words were, "I hate fucking losing."
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he says, yeah, but I just when so there was a horse of Willie Mullins that won a jumps race in the JP McManus colours on the documentary, one of the staying races. I can't remember who it was, but he goes, he was speaking to an associate of his after the race, and he went, "That thing was fucking tanking round." And it's amazing to hear how they speak behind the scenes, you know?
Yeah, that's what you don't see.
But
again,
he really...
it's good.
But what can you take away? What can you take away from Paul Nichols?
No,
absolutely nothing.
He's won pretty much every race there is to win, really.
Yeah, and it was talking about episode 3 was then moved on to Willie Mullins getting his 100 winners at Cheltenham.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin it for you, but it does.
No. Well, we've just ruined the first 2 episodes for everyone.
Well, then watch it. They should have watched it already. You know?
No, we're joking. It's good.
So yeah, it was really, really good. Yeah, highly recommended. So we said we talk about this. Said we talk about how we got into how we got into this. Perhaps we should talk about what it is we're actually referring to. We didn't actually say what it was.
No. Do you want to lead the way or do you want me to lead it?
I think you start and I'll just interrupt you like I usually do.
It's normally the way around, isn't it?
Yeah, you interrupt me a lot.
Yeah.
If you watch some of the videos back, you just talk over me.
No, I don't.
Maybe it's the way around.
No.
Go on then.
Anyway, well, yeah, so as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner there, the Flat Cap Tipster. So Harry and I, 6 years ago.
Must have been, yeah.
We worked in car sales in the same dealership. One day, Harry approached me about a horse. He was a horse he was backing.
Don't talk about me like I'm not here. Fuck. Do you want me to leave?
I said, sorry, mate. Sorry to break it to you, but that horse isn't winning. And I told him which horse would win, which it did. And then it quite quickly snowballed from there that we started talking daily, didn't we, about
we did.
the races, who's going to win. And it turned out that between us, I've worked in horse racing for a long time as well before that. But it turned out between us, we were quite good at it.
Tell us, talk about your background.
I used to work for a couple of different bookies.
Yeah.
In the betting side of things, sort of computer side, for 14 years.
Yeah.
So I'd be on race courses at least 4 or 5 times a week, all up and down the country, which is how I fell. This is how I got into it, really. But yeah, going back to the Flat Cap Tipster, we decided actually, because we're getting a lot of winners between us daily, we should do something. We should do something with that.
We started something up, didn't we? Yeah, we started up the... I'm going to take it from here.
You go on, mate.
Can I go on?
Yeah, you go.
I love this because I this back in Prime Day. This was it. This was it for me. This was, we'd be in bed, not together, every night.
Fucking hell.
And looking at the selections and just picking out. We made our own little tipping sort of organisation, didn't we? We used to make. We used to get our selections, post them to the people who would follow us, which at one point was quite a few people.
Yeah.
We won't talk about numbers or anything. And we had this picture behind us represents just one of our winning multiples.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember it clear as day, but this will always stick in my mind because it was a 100 and I'm not sure if they can see it from there, but there was a 144-1 winning treble, which was Oscar's Man at 16-1, Adichie at 9-4. I remember Adichie, and Kilconny Bridge at 6-4. And yeah, we'd post our selections every day.
Yeah, and
we'd just have a good time with it.
We did, and we would often have doubles, trebles. Our most famous day was probably the fourfold, which a lot of our members were ecstatic. I was going to get that picture up on here, but I couldn't. We couldn't. Oh, because we couldn't.
Yeah.
Well, we just got inundated with texts and emails, didn't we? From people like, "My God, how did you pull that one out?"
Yeah.
But that was special. Yeah, and it was great. There were good days, and they weren't flukes. They weren't one-offs. Anyone that did follow us at the time regularly said, okay, you can say it. We're one of the better ones around at the time. For sure.
You trying to work out what you can and can't say?
No,
you say anything you fucking like on this channel.
No, that's what I mean. No, not that. But without blowing your own arsehole, your own trumpet, going we're the best. Obviously, we weren't not saying that, but we were consistent.
I don't think the saying is blowing your own arsehole.
Blowing your own trumpet.
That's it, yeah.
But we were consistent, and we had stuff like this, and yeah, we had some good followers that really enjoyed it. Yeah, we did. Look, we built a following, and it was really good. We had a small racing community. We had a little Telegram group, didn't we? Mm-hmm. We had various forms of social media platforms, and just a little racing community that we'd reach out to on a daily basis and say, look, this is what we like today, on it or not. And it was great. I remember, so last week I had to pick up a new monitor from Curry's, and when I parked up in the car park, I had this sort of strange sense of deja vu come over me.
I thought, what's that? I've been here before. I've been there plenty of times, but I've been here before and had some good news here. Do you know where I'm going? You don't know where I'm going with this.
I have no idea.
So I was in that very same car park coming out of Curry's when you rang me when the fourth horse on that 560 to 1, it was 560 to 1 fourfold won.
Yeah.
And you just went, brilliant, mate. Brilliant, you know? But because it was.
Yeah, it was good.
It was unbelievable. Yeah. And we had one of our followers at that time actually gave us like sort of say have a drink on us, have a drink on me, basically. Both you have a drink on me, and sort of, you know. I think they know what we're trying to say, but so that was interesting.
Well, it started snowballing, didn't it? When we started having those trebles and fourfolds and regular doubles, we did start getting a lot of attention. It was good. And then COVID hit, really. I suppose.
I know, COVID hit. That was a tough time for everybody. But racing itself, I remember watching like football games and stuff without any fans. And I'm rewatching what we talked about last week, the Oisin Murphy documentary, Horsepower on Amazon Prime at the moment, and it goes back to the times of 2020 and 2021 where there was no one there. They had to show social distance and stuff. So they were tricky times, but it was. And then we also did a couple of audio podcasts back then, mate, didn't we?
We did. They were, quite basic, weren't they?
They were quite basic, yeah.
But they were good because you remember when we did the Cheltenham special? We did a Cheltenham special tips.
Yeah, we did. We did.
And we did a podcast on that, actually, funny enough. And, oh, God, if anyone can go back and find it, you will find again, we gave some good, I think we might have touched on a couple of the horses in other episodes, but it was giving 12 to 1 winners, 9 to 1 winners. It's we were just, we were good, weren't we?
Yeah, we were good. Yeah, we were. There's no doubt about that.
But, then stuff happened and it took a while. Well, we didn't really pick it up again after, did we?
It was intense.
It was too much going on after that.
It was quite intense. I was gutted that. I was gutted that we couldn't keep it afloat, sort of thing. But we were inundated.
Yeah,
we really were. And what with full-time jobs and everything like that, it was just.
And
tricky.
I think that was the problem. It was trying to take it then to go to the next level, but with understanding that we've got full-time jobs. It's like, okay, well, where do we try and take it now?
Yeah.
Which was tricky as well. You couldn't give our jobs up.
No.
But you probably had to be in a position where you needed to do more. We needed time.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I really enjoyed it. Anyway, it was brilliant. So, just have I think anybody's welcome to have a poke around, because technically speaking, it is still the Facebook page is still public.
Is that still going?
Still going, yeah, it's still public.
Because we had a lot of followers on Instagram, didn't we?
Yeah, I think that
went a bit wrong, didn't it?
That let's just say that faded out. But the Facebook page is still live, and we were always really good at posting our success.
Yeah. When was this from then? When was it? Like 2009? It's got to be 20.
It's got to be 20. No, it's got to be 20. 2019.
Was that when it? Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be 2019. Yeah. I think I've still got the screenshot of when we snapshotted everybody's celebrations from this one to say, fuck, and, whoa, and all that sort of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's celebrations.
That's incredible, because even the doubles, they'd be good. They might be like a 3 to 1 tied in with a 6 to 1, and they weren't. There's a lot of people. I will say one thing on this actually with tipping and stuff like that. It's not something I take lightly, and I wouldn't have done it if we're not con men. We wouldn't have done it if we were shit. There's a lot of people out there would take advantage of people, and it's wrong,
mate.
And again, people they'll go, I'll give you 1 to 3 favourites. I'm tipping.
That's not a tip.
That's bollocks. Absolute bollocks, mate. So, we did it because we're good at it. Yeah,
and I don't think there's any, and that's, you make all the modest jokes in the world, but it's true. And the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
But it was all about, I enjoyed giving people something. Like it was about that. It's great when you and the pundits on fucking racing TV will say the same thing. It's great when you get a winner that you've handcrafted and picked out yourself.
Yeah.
And and spent a long time looking at the race. At the end of the day, we're working with animals and some people don't get it because people at work know I'm into racing and they'll sometimes on a weekend I'll have a little bet. And people will want to get on, and I'll understand why it hasn't run to. Well, sometimes I won't understand, but
today.
Like to absolutely, mate,
Middle-earth.
Absolutely. But it's just that they don't understand it, and you're working with animals at the end of the day. And they said it on that documentary. They said, "Look, a 9-10 stone person is not going to do anything about a horse. You're not going to be able to. If they're not in the mood, they're not doing it."
That was Harry Cobden, I think.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, he said you're not going to move a 400-pound horse.
Yeah, that's it.
I said, well,
I didn't say the 400-pound bit because I'm so shit at working out.
Or whatever it was.
Whatever it was.
He's right. Like I said,
he's spot on,
fuck
mate.
what I can do about it. Like you see it in some races when they veer off the course or they go through the fencing.
They have no control sometimes.
You're not going to stop it.
No.
It's like a steam train.
No. So look, I really enjoyed giving something back, and it was nice to have the community. And
it was, mate.
And it's my point. My point of this whole shit that I'm talking at the moment is that it feels great when you could back up that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always go. If it went everybody's way every time, then there'd be plenty more millionaires, mate.
And it wasn't from
less bookies,
inside information or anything like that. Even though we had a horse, which we spoke before, it wasn't inside information. It was just general good knowledge and reading a horse, a race course, knowing when we thought a horse was going to go in.
Yeah, when was the right time. So, yeah, and now it's I much prefer the more casual approach to it now. We'll sit here and we'll chat, and you've said you like Tropical Storm. I've said I quite like the look of Yorkshire, and I think every now and then we will push a horse out there and recommend it.
Yeah, definitely.
They're not all going to win,
obviously. That's just racing, Like today, Middle-earth was stone last for whatever reason. It's a lot better than that. We know it's a lot better than that.
Yeah.
But then, like, a failure won. So, yeah, it's just, yeah. It's nice. It was always enjoyable. I mean, we loved doing it, didn't we, before?
We really loved doing it.
We'd get a buzz out of it, especially with those trebles and fourfolds.
Yeah.
But now it's more casual.
I got into I'm still unclear as to how I really got into my racing, because it's, do you know when you turn something on and it sort of grips you? So you put something on the TV, like the first time you ever got into, whatever sport, but I've got a couple of years on you, so I haven't worked in racing, and I've climbed my family tree and swung from the branches, as it were, to try and find out where my love of racing's come from. Can't find it, mate.
No.
I asked my granddad the other day. I said, "Any chance your granddad liked racing?" He said, "Oh," in his thick Irish accent. Well, I don't actually know what he said, but it was something along the lines of, "I don't know."
Oh, brilliant.
So and sometimes...
Well, you must have picked up from something. I don't know whether did you watch a race on telly one day, or...
I don't know.
Did someone say, "I've got a tip for you"?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But all I'll say is that I want this to be... It would be nice that this is about... It's not necessarily about promoting messages, what we do here, but I go to the races a lot and I just see wrong-uns. I've said it before. And to be able to promote and push racing out there to younger people, because it's a fucking unbelievable sport.
Yeah.
It's an unbelievable sport.
Yeah.
And this is a sport-orientated country, of course, but not enough people give horse racing a chance. They don't. Especially if you're there, you're watching a big race. I was jumping up down the spot when I was watching the Ascot King George with Enabling Crystal Ocean.
Yeah.
That was a race. And it sends shivers down my spine when you watch a big race.
It does. I remember being at Cheltenham, Corto Star in the Gold Cup, the year he took his crown back.
You were there?
Yeah, I was there, and I was in the stand. I was in the crowd, and there was like 50,000. So we're not talking a couple hundred people. There's 50,000 people. And the noise, mate, and it was the hairs just stood up on your arms. Yeah. When he went to the front, and it's like, oh my God, that is an atmosphere.
Yeah.
So it can be, that's what you want. You want, like you say, you want people to go along and enjoy it. You're always going to go along, have a drink, and that sort of thing, and enjoy it, obviously. But yeah, like you say, trying to get people into appreciate class horses, good racers,
but that's what it is. Because when I was at Newmarket, and I go to the races as regularly as I can, but it's when you see people there, the younger people that are there just for the piss up, and they're on their phones while the race is on.
Yeah, you'll get that.
You'll never stop it. I get it. I really do get it.
It's a day at the races.
I know.
It's a fun day for some people because some people don't care about the racing, but it's those that are interested that you really want to get hold of.
Just don't want the racing to be associated with, let's go out for a piss up day. But it has been historically, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it's one of those, you either like it or you don't, I guess. But
yeah,
like you say, trying to get sort of younger generation, because the younger generation do like their racing, believe it or not.
Yeah, they do. There's more people incoming. Yeah, definitely. Isterbrak died this week at 32.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's sad, isn't it?
Champion, legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, many of the, even
you remember him?
Jockeys.
Yeah.
No, I know I'm a bit older than you, mate, but
he's past your time as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isterbrak was 80s, wasn't he?
He was what?
80s.
Was it back then?
Yeah, I think it was 80s.
Oh.
90s, maybe at the most, but
wow.
I don't think it was definitely. Yeah, I have a lot of like 80s, wasn't it? Isterbrak.
Okay. Well, maybe you're right. Anyway, look, we've reached the end now again. So another episode done. We've got to wrap it up because they're going to kick us out of here in a minute. So yeah, we'll best leave it there. But another good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, enjoyed that.
It. Yeah.
We'll cut it there and I'll see you next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff, mate.
Cheers, everybody.
Laters.